Hello everybody, Harrison101 back at it once again with a brand new video, and welcome to Abu Dhabi. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you probably watched the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix earlier this afternoon. I have to say, I'm not the biggest fan in the world of Abu Dhabi, the racetrack. I remember back in the days when there was no anti-clockwise circuits in Formula 1 pretty much, and now this is like all the new ones all tend to be anti-clockwise. But I do really like the atmosphere. I love that it changes like slowly to a night race over the course of the 90 minutes. It's a really nice setting. I like how the lights floodlit the track late on, and it just makes it really unique. Not like Singapore, it's all under night, but it's just you start off in the day and it gets. Honestly, it's quite surprising how dark and how quickly it gets dark over there. So I really enjoyed that aspect of Abu Dhabi. Now, talking about the race, one of the most noteworthy incidents happened on the second corner as Sebastian Vettel proves he is human by not finishing a race. It looked as if it was a puncture, but what actually happened later under further investigation is that Vettel came in too hot for turn 2, and instead of the tyre just puncturing, it slid completely off the rim. The friction caused by under the heavy braking, the tyre came completely off the rim, and by that point the tyre was ruined by the time he got back to the pit lane, so Vettel was out early on. Lewis Hamilton took the lead, and just really just the story of the race was Lewis Hamilton just doing just enough to keep the second place man Fernando Alonso behind him. And I have to give Fernando Alonso a ton of props, because he is constantly punching above that car's weight. Ferrari are knocking on the door of being a true contender again in that car behind McLaren and Red Bull. They're not quite there yet, but Fernando Alonso is proving why he's still one of the best drivers on the planet, with a fantastic drive to get that second place. And yet again, like he said in the post-race interview, he had a good half chance of winning that race if it wasn't for a couple of things like his tyres falling apart just at the wrong time, and the Ferrari pit crew late on didn't help with making a small error, putting, I think it was the front left tyre on for his final pit stop. It just didn't quite work out for Fernando in the end, but a great second place drive from him. Really needed that for the team. They needed that one, and almost as badly as Hamilton needed a race win. I mean, I spoke last week about how mentally it just seemed like his head wasn't in the game. The crash of Massa clearly demoralised him a little bit. But again, Hamilton led pretty much start to finish. Did a fantastic job, a great drive. A lot of Lewis Hamilton's fans are now saying, "Oh, this will silence the haters and the apologists and what have you." People, Hamilton is still a wild driver. But I will say this, it was a fantastic drive from Lewis. And it looked like the Lewis Hamilton of old, where he just took the front and just controlled the pace, controlled everything, and you know, he brought home a very convincing win. It looked like he was mentally back in it, and the reason for that is probably down to his mum. His mum flew out to Abu Dhabi to see him race. I don't think that was the first time she's ever done that, but his mum was out there. It was her birthday as well, so happy birthday, Lewis's mum. And Hamilton looked very happy out there, so I'm happy for him. I'm glad he seems to be getting his head sorted out, and I hope this run of form continues, because while I'm not the biggest fan of Lewis Hamilton, I do think he's secretly quite a bit of an egomaniac. I will say this, he always provides exciting racing. He's always a very brave and, driver, guy who takes risks when he doesn't necessarily need to. So congratulations to Lewis on a fantastic win. Also, what's interesting with Alonso coming in second, he brings himself to within 5 points of Jenson Button in the race for second place in the championship. Jenson Button, who came third in the race, lost his KERS on lap 12 and spent a good 20-30 laps without his KERS system, and it made it difficult to pass and defend himself from Mark Webber, who seemed to be all over him for a good chunk of the race. But yeah, Jenson Button, second place in the championship, was under pressure going into the final race. I also thought it was hilarious that beard he's growing for Movember. Movember, of course, being the charity where men grow a moustache over the course of November to raise awareness for prostate cancer. It's a great cause. If you haven't already, check it out. But yeah, another solid drive from Jenson, doing what he needs to do, keeps racking up good points. Another 15 points for third place for him. Mark Webber coming home in fourth. again, another solid drive for Mark Webber, but again, you can't help but think, if Vettel is winning races and Mark Webber is only capable of coming in third or fourth, it's more than just the car. It really is. I mean, I will say this though, Webber looked really good late on. It was a very interesting strategy late on to run on the option tyres long, but he was racking up fastest lap after fastest lap after fastest lap on the option tyres, trying to reel in, and eventually did overtake Massa in the pit stops. So he didn't stop until the final lap of the race to change to the harder tyres. Got him going, but again, beating Massa for 4th place. Massa spinning out at near the end, pretty much sealed that result for him. I don't know what to say about Felipe. It hasn't already been said. It's just disappointing, really. I mean, I've always said he always deserves a bit more respect than what he's actually been given at Ferrari. I think it's because Alonso is that double world champion, and Massa will always be known as being the choke artist because he was the guy who was so close, only a point away from winning the world title. I think it was in 2007. I think it was. I want to say 07, but I think it's unfair. But the problem with Massa is I just think the guys in front of him are just that little bit too talented. I mean, I think all the other 5 guys in that Power 6 of Mercedes, Red Bull and Ferrari are just that little bit quicker. So that's pretty much all the major headlines going from Abu Dhabi. Also want to give an honourable mention and shout out to Kamui Kobayashi, who came in 10th for Sauber after coming down as far as 20th, if I remember correctly. Salvaging a point for Sauber, and by doing that, he also overtakes Toro Rosso in the Constructors' Championship. They're having that little duel where they're pretty much on the same number of points, and they're now slugging it out with only 1 race to go. Also, I want to give some credit to Paul di Resta for coming in 9th with another interesting strategy where he only 1 stopped, had to go for a good amount of time on the tyres. But yeah, another solid points finish for Paul di Resta, the young rookie. I think a good contender for Rookie of the Year, which I'll probably talk about in the final race. Sadly, we're coming towards the end of our racing season. Only 2 weeks to go. The final race in Sao Paulo, Brazil, the Brazilian Grand Prix, the season finale. It's provided so many classic races, and I'm sure we'll get another one in a couple of weeks' time. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay footage. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will leave you to the rest of my run with Lewis Hamilton in Abu Dhabi. I've been Harrison101. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see part 5 of my Formula 1 2011 playthrough in a couple of days' time. Sayonara.
Awesome, truly awesome. What a win.